Hello, hello. Hope you guys are having a good couple of days here. We're back with a little bit more Mahjong. We should be able to get to Expert today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and queue up. Our streak's looking good, looking good. No fourth places recently, that's pretty solid. I think we're one good win away from Expert. Alrighty. Check our shapes here. That's a pretty good shape. Could be two shapes soon. There's another one. There's another one. Looks like we're at about 3.5, give or take 4 shapes. And remember, we need 5 to win, so we're going to be looking for another pair or another run. Went ahead and tossed this north wind. Okay, let's start tossing the dragons now because the 3 of dots is pretty good. This could equal 2 shapes now. Two red 5s is nothing to sneeze at. Okay, we'll go ahead and toss our last one. Normally, I would have just went ahead and tossed that 9 instead of that green dragon, but instead of a 6, now we can accept an 8 as well to complete that 5-7 shape. And if we get an 8, then we can drop the 3 and then we have our pair. Don't need this 2, it doesn't match up to anything. Okay, just threw the 2, don't need the 1. We can't really pawn and chi as long as we're using this 9 here. But if we were to get a 6 as a chi, then we could go ahead and throw the 9, and then we can go for a Tanyo hand. Okay, that's really good. We can go ahead and toss the 7 now, and we have a pair. So now if we get a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or an 8, we're in Tanyo, and those are all dots. We need to complete one of these shapes here. Okay, don't need that south wind, go ahead and toss it. This guy might be going for a half flush. He might also have another kind of honor tile, either east wind or one of the dragons. But white dragon is dead, green dragon is dead. And he already tossed a red dragon, so he doesn't have one of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he's going for a half flush here. And since he's throwing a lot of bamboo, it's probably not bamboo. It's either gonna be dots or I don't think we keep that. We might. We're gonna go ahead and keep that. I think the 2-3 dot shape is better than the 7-9, even though the 5-7-9 shape existed there. It allows us to accept the same amount of tiles. And 2 8s have been thrown. Three eighths now. So I think we picked correctly on the weight here. The side lords here appear to be opening their hands. They must be close to, if not in 10 pi now. Okay, this is a scary discard. And it's getting towards the end of this round here. It doesn't look like our hand came together fast enough. We do want to complete the hand in some way, shape, or form. I don't think I needed to Ricci there. I think we could have won without the Ricci just off a Tanyo hand, but we slam that Ricci button when we can. It's the first round, we can lose 1,000 points. Especially in this scenario where we just gain them back. Okay, moving on to East 2. Not in last place. That's all we want. Shapes here are pretty alright. Got a couple of 5s. We did want that. Okay, we don't need that north wind. We did want that, but if we were to chi it, then we'd be stuck with a 7, 8, 9 shape. And there'd be no chance of us going into Tanyo, which is what most of our hand demands at this point, is to just be in Tanyo, which is 2 through 8s. Okay, don't need that south wind. We'll go ahead and throw it. We're in west seat and east round, so south wind is a non-valuable tile for us. Should also probably throw these 2 tiles here as soon as we can. Also, this is useful for us, but we don't really need it because we can do a Tanyo hand, the 2 through 8 hand, so we can go ahead and throw that early, so it's not helping somebody else later. Or, you know, in this case, he was waiting on it, so if we would have thrown it even later, there was a chance that we just deal into him. And all we want is to not deal in. That's fantastic. You do want to win, but you want to not deal in even more. Go ahead and throw this 9 because we have a 6, 8. The 8, 9 and the 6, 8 both wait on the 7, so a pointless tile for us. Count up our shapes. 1, looks like 2, maybe 3. 4, 5, 6. That's too many shapes, so we can probably toss the 1, 3 here. We don't need it. Remember, you need 5 shapes to win. This 3 is also pretty not required, pretty superfluous. Now if we can get like a 2 or a 4 around it, it is a better shape than the 6, 8 shape. And if that's the case, then we'll go ahead and keep the 3 and then toss the 6, 8. Okay, got rid of the 1 and the 3, so we immediately got the 2. As is tradition. Okay, we'll go ahead and keep that 4. If we can somehow draw a 5, or even chi a 5, then we can make that into 2 shapes there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes, and that's enough to win. We can also chi here if we wanted to open our hand and make it Tanyo, which maybe. Good thing we didn't, because we just completed a shape and got our pair. Oof, but then we dealt in. No. It's alright, could have been worse. Plenty of game left. Get ourselves out of this hole we just entered. Very good hand. 2 dragons immediately, that's 2 Han. Means we can pawn and chi up everything that we see. We can even go for a half flush hand if we just pawn and chi off of dots here. And pawn up the dragons here. Which means we'll have to get rid of these bamboo. That's gone. We got 1 shape here, 2 shapes here, 3, 4, 5, that's enough to win. Now with us throwing the bamboo and the numbers exclusively, people are probably going to know that we're going for outside, or half flush hand here. Or at the very least, at this point, they know we don't need numbers. Because if I throw a 5, I'm not waiting with a 6 or a 7. If I throw a 5, I'm not waiting with a 3 or a 4. And since I threw a 6, I'm not waiting with a 7 or an 8. And I'm not waiting with a 4 or 5. And then the same can be said for the 3 here, with the 1 and 2 and the 3 and 4. And it looks like people are reading me correctly. They're going to be keeping dots. So this is going to be a tough hand to win, but that's okay. Go ahead and pawn that up. Now we can throw some of these dots, which might deal into people, or we can keep them for the extra 2 Han. For the half flush, the extra 2 Han hand will be harder to win, whereas this is just 2 Han here. Again, it's kind of early, so we'll go ahead and take the risk. Okay, that's really good. Chi that up, now we're just waiting on a 4. And we can improve this hand's weights by drawing a 6, or by drawing an additional 2. Now we could pawn that, but we'd only be waiting on a 3. That's the same number of tiles, neither of which have been played, so it's not required. There's the 6. So we did just improve the hand, now we're waiting on a 7 and a 4. So instead of just 4 tiles, which is how many 4s were left, now we're waiting on 7 tiles, which adds in the 7s there. Still a tough hand, and this is super scary because this guy just threw a 6. He could have been waiting with a 6-7-7 shape. And there's the Ron. Okay, we're decidedly not in last now. Got our half flush points. We got the fake Mahjong. Fake Mahjong is 7,700 points instead of the 8,000 from a Mahjong. Okay, now we're dealer. We have a Dora here. Let's go ahead and count our shapes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes now. Go ahead and throw the green dragon. We're going to pawn that white dragon up as fast as we can and just get the hand rolling. Because we're in dealer seat, we want to stay in dealer seat even if we win small hands. Okay, we'll go ahead and throw this 3 because it doesn't jive with anything. We'll throw the Dora as well if necessary. If we can get a 6 or an 8 of dots, then we'll go ahead and throw this 6 and 8 of characters because a side weight is better than a closed weight. As we just saw with that last hand we did. The more tiles you're able to accept to complete your hand, the better. Okay, not helpful. Toss it. This 2, 4, 6 shape looks like 2 closed weights, but then we can toss the additional one. Which, like if we get a 3, we can have the 2, 3, 4 here, and then toss the 6, and we've completed the shape. So it's a better weight than just having the 2 here. Waiting. Okay, 3 not required. And then same here. We're gonna go ahead and toss that Dora, which should scare some people. And now we're waiting with two blocks with 2 closed weights. Okay, that's very good. Now we just have to pick and choose. Looks like this is a weaker shape than this, because people have already thrown a 3 out. So there's 1 less 3 to wait on, whereas no one's thrown a 5 or a 7 yet. Okay, we don't want to pawn that because this is probably going to be our pair. And the hidden dragon here is pretty good. It means that no matter what we do, our hand will be valid because we have a triplet of one of the dragons. Okay, we can toss that. Now we have a side weight. Okay, there's a 4. I don't think we need that 4. I think waiting on another 4 or a 5 is a worse weight than waiting on the 5 or the 7. Because you already have 2 of the 4s in your hand. So the odds of getting an additional 4 are lower than getting the 5s or the 7s, which no one has played yet, so there's more tiles there. Okay, we can go ahead and cheat this and open our hand up. And now we're in Tenpai. If we discard this 4, the 4 is safe because there's a 4 in his discard, but also because he threw a 7, he's not waiting with a 5-6. It's Suji to 7, this 4 is. So it's probably pretty safe. Now this 3, not as safe. He's the only one that hasn't thrown one. It passed, we're pretty lucky there. If I had to guess, he's waiting on a bamboo. And so are we. Dealt in twice now to Right Lord, that sucks. Sucks a lot. He's not calling Ricci. Oh, he did call Ricci that time. Oh, I just wasn't paying attention. That's okay. Can either deal into him or to Left Lord there. I'd rather deal into the one that's only taken like 2,000 points from us. It's totally fine. Still not in last. That's all that matters. Okay, go ahead and check our shapes here. The 6 is not required. We can throw that, and the rest of them look pretty good. We got a 4, 6, 7, and we have a 7, 7, 8. That's 2 shapes right there. 3 shapes, 4 shapes, and 5 shapes. Looks like we are 1 good tile away from Tenpai. If we get a 2 of dots, a 7 of characters, a 6 of characters, a 5 of characters, we are in Tenpai. Now if I think this is the better way, even though math says this one is. Not a lot of people are throwing 5s. And this allows us to accept 2 different tiles instead of just 1. Even though one of them is the remaining 7. Now, how this shape got us into Tenpai is because we're using a 6, 7, 8 shape here, and then the 2 here, the 2 7s here, are a pair, and this 2 of dots is also a pair. So we're waiting on 2 pairs here. Now one of the 2s just went out the window. Somebody just used it in a pair, or in a run there. But that's alright, because we got the 7. Just Ricci. It wasn't Penfu because we used 2 different pairs at the end there. If you have all runs, like, 5, 6, 7s, then you're definitely looking at Penfu, which is an extra Han at the end. And it went more than 1 turn around, so it wasn't Ipatsu. And this is very close. We should be able to go ahead and do another half flush here. As long as somebody deals me a character tile or 2, we can go ahead and open our hand. And it's south round, so we can go ahead and triple up or pawn this south tile here. Okay, and now we have Prevalent Wind. Prevalent Wind half flush is not bad. I think it's 3,900 points for an open hand. But because it's Prevalent Wind, we could just accept a 1 or a 4 as well and win the hand that way in Bamboo. Like right there is a disgusting weight. I think we're going to click it as well. It's no longer a half flush. I'm pretty sure it's only Prevalent Wind, which is just 1,000 points. But look at that weight. We're waiting on 12 different tiles here. It's disgusting. One of those tiles are going to come out. Don't know which. Probably the terminal there, the 9. People don't really like holding on to terminals if they can help it because it kind of locks you into a certain kind of hand. Okay, there's the 9. Crosslord is just feeding me today, and I'm happy to oblige. Thank you, good sir. Alrighty, let's count up our shapes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have 10 terminal tiles. Hey, Blacklist. 11 terminal tiles. Now usually when you get 9 terminal tiles, you can just click this draw button and it reshuffles everyone's hands and you get new hands. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go for the meme dream here, because we're not in last, and it's very easy to fold out of what I'm about to do. It's called 13 Orphans. Hope you're having a good day, Blacklist. We got ourselves a all terminal tiles hand here. So I need a South Wind, a White Dragon, okay, we just keep throwing everything that's not a 1, a 9, or an honor tile, and see where we end up. Alternatively, if this hand ends up dead, we can always go for all terminals and honors, which is also all pawn, which might be what we fold like we do right now. It's a lot easier to get than 13 Orphans, and it does pay off pretty good. We'll go ahead and do it to show you how that is. 13 Orphans is the meme dream. You do 13 Orphans when you've got nothing to lose. Okay. The red dragon is also dead, so we're probably going to get rid of that next. This terminal tile here that we have a copy of is probably going to come out. And the north wind here, unless somebody like the guy across from us has both of them, will also probably come out. So we're not in last. We're going to go ahead and con for fun, just to draw that extra tile there. Usually you don't want to con unless you're in last, or unless you draw it yourself, because it opens up your hand. Like, if you have a pawn there, and you con, it only helps the people who reach you. If you don't hit your own tiles with the Dora indicator. Okay, this is a safe tile, we can throw it. The Dora indicator being these tiles top left up here. This is a very scary tile, we don't want to throw that yet. We will throw that when the time comes. So like if a red dragon had popped up there when I called con here, then all of the green dragons I have there, okay, we're gonna throw it. It hurts. Yeah, that was definitely gonna happen. Then all of those green dragons down there would have become Dora, and then this hand would have instantly become a Mahjong, in addition to whatever other points I had. So we lost that one. We're still in second, which is why it was totally fine to lose it. Go ahead and check our shapes here after we decide which one we don't want here. I don't think we want one of these dragons. We're going to coin flip one of them away. Okay. Alright, now count our shapes. We got a 7-9. We have a 4-5. 3-4. There's another 9 that strengthens the shape. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 shapes. Now we can keep the east wind here because we're in east seat, even though it's south round. That'll give us seat wind. It won't give us prevalent wind, but it will validate our hand no matter what it looks like if we pawn it up. Okay. I think drawing that 3 gave us our 5th shape here. 3, 4. This shape is okay. It's not great. I really don't like the 7, 9 shapes, but this additional 9 is going to help us along at some point. Okay, and we don't need this 9 now, but we're not going to throw it yet. If we get a 2 or a 1, then we can go for a full straight in the bamboo suit here. Okay, go ahead and throw the south wind since another one's been thrown. That cancels that Yaku out for everyone else on the board. No one can pawn it up. Okay, there's a 2. The guy to our left needs to stop throwing very good tiles for us. That would be lovely. And we're still 2 away from Tenpai. Very unfortunate. Like he knows us. Whoa. Okay, there's our 5. We can go ahead and toss this 9 since it doesn't look like we're getting the full straight. Now we're only 1 away from Tenpai. If we get a 2 or a 5 or a 3 or a 6 or an 8 or a 9, we're in Tenpai, which is a good portion of tiles there to be able to grab. One of the 3s have been used. None of the 6s have been used for dots. None of the 9s have been used, which is pretty good. None of the 8s as well. Pretty alright as well. I guess we don't want a 9, and we don't want an 8, because these 9s here will probably end up being our pair. So we're just waiting on these 2 side weights here. Which means we need to toss this 7. Now luckily for us, this guy has been throwing numbered tiles the whole time, so 7 is pretty safe to throw. Okay, we threw 2 east winds over the course of the game, so this 3rd east wind also pretty safe to throw. Now he could have had a single tile wait for an east wind, but that's highly unlikely, so it's usually okay to throw. Okay, and that was the best thing that could have happened there. The guy to our right, who was already in first, went ahead and hit somebody for points, so the 2 people that were very close to us didn't overtake us for second. 25 points here. Let's see how close we are. Oh, we only need 23 more. Go ahead and queue up again. First, let's see what we got from the event. We're going to need to avoid dealing into others, which we did a couple of times there, to get the rest of the steam masks. Go ahead and queue up again. So close to expert, I can almost taste it. Oh, I'm alright. Ate a pretty heavy lunch. Had like 2 chicken breasts and then half of a Tostino's pizza. Which, if you don't put chicken on pizza, let me tell you, if you can keep it from drying out, that pizza is wonderful. Should definitely try it if you got time. Luckily, it had a little bit of pepperoni on there, and the grease from the pepperoni keeps the chicken pretty moist, so that's win-win all the way around. So more people play East because they have less time on their hands, they just want faster games. But in my opinion, South is where it's at. There's no like... So you lose hand 1 of East, you're probably going to lose that match. But since there's at least 4 more rounds in South, you have a chance to catch back up, or at least like come back. Like if you lose your dealer seat, you're never going to be dealer again in East. But it does come back around in South, which is why I like South more. But if you have like 30 minutes to play a game of Mahjong, like on your lunch break or something, or you're just trying to get as many Mahjong games in as physically possible, you're probably going to click East. A buddy of mine only plays East for that reason. He said, man, I gotta get up every hour or so. I said, it doesn't take over an hour. And then he posts a screenshot of him in like a 90-minute game. I said, alright, that's fair. That does suck, I'll give you that, but I really like Mahjong. If I have time, I sit down, like, and I click south every time. Unless I have like an hour or so, I don't normally play. Even though the games can last, like that last one lasted 35 minutes, that's not too bad. Okay, we need to count our shapes here while I'm paying attention. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. We don't really need this, but we don't really want both of these 7, 9 shapes either. We're going to go ahead and throw that 6 and see where that leaves us with our next draw. It was either the 6 or the 3 here since they don't match up with each other, but the 3 is the Dora, so we're going to keep it, see if we can't use it in our hand. K2, not useful, throw. Oh, looks like Right Lord is on McDonald's Wi-Fi. That's okay, he loaded back in. The Steam version really has a lot better connectivity than the old browser version, I'd say. Started by only playing East, been doing South the last couple of days and really like it more. Yeah, comebacks are just like so glorious, especially in South. You get your like South 2 dealer seat and just win like 5 hands in a row and go from last to first. Oh, it feels so good. It can happen to you too, but like it happens a lot less, and once you learn how to like read the discards and stop like dealing in and stuff. Okay. Go ahead and toss that 8 because we tossed the 9, so we can't wait with a 7, 8 because since we have 9s in our discard, if for some reason that shape was the last shape that we were waiting on, we'd be in Furiton. Yeah, I think the most I played East was when I was trying to get this winning streak title. I accidentally won. I say accidentally, after like hundreds and hundreds of games in South, I won 5 in a row. So I went over to 3-player. Santa's is not coming together. It really wants me to accept those 2s. I went over to 3-player Mahjong, and I just like blasted out like 100 East games. And eventually, it was like, alright, fine, you win 5 in a row. I was like, thank God. I got to 4 in a row. I want to say 6 different times before I got to 5 in a row. It was rough. Now we're getting down there, so we're going to go ahead and start pawning and cheeing, even though it'll invalidate our hand. It will give us 10 pi when we get to 0 here. And you want to be in 10 pi when you hit 0. I know these two guys, Across Lord and Left Lord here, are definitely in 10 pi. They only have like 4 tiles left each, so they're just waiting on a single tile to win. And we don't want to deal out, or, you know, pay out at the end of this round. Okay, not useful. If we could grab a, you know, one of these pairs, we could pawn any of those, that would be glorious. Really help us out. Alternatively, we could accept a 3 from the guy to our left here. That'd be good too. He's already thrown 1, so he doesn't need them. Looks like there's 2 more hanging out somewhere. That's a spicy tile. Should have looked at it before I clicked the button. I'm like, nope, don't need that. Click. Tiles to go. I'm assuming since no one has thrown a west wind, someone here also had the other 2 west winds. And either way, somebody else won, so someone goes below us and someone goes above us, but we don't pay out. We end up in second because the way the seconds work, see, me and Left Lord both have the same amount of points, but I'm in second and he's in third. The way that works is if you start the game and you're dealer for East 1, or if you're to the right of dealer for East 1, you will be second if this happens. This guy is going to be dealer last, so even though we're the same amount of points, he is in third instead of second, if that makes sense. Like if I went down to 23,000 right now, and the guy to my right is also at 23,000, it ties us for third, but since I would have been dealer first, then I come in third, he comes in fourth. Very easy. Okay, we don't need that. Go ahead and toss it. We can go ahead and pawn that up. Get rid of this 3. Alright, we're going to go ahead and count the rest of our shapes here. We kind of want to keep this red 5 because it's extra points. So I don't know if we want to pawn that. We kind of want to find ourselves a 4 bamboo here. Okay, not useful. Go ahead and throw it. If it was a 6 or a 7 of bamboo, we definitely would have kept it instead. Excuse me. Definitely would have kept it instead. Okay, it's giving us the 3 no matter what we do, so we're going to go ahead and toss this 9. And because we got the red dragon, we can pawn and G up a storm if we feel like it, even though we have these 1s here, it doesn't matter. Somebody already threw a 4 bamboo. It looks like the guy to our left is just tossing all of his dots. Okay, guy to our right immediately won. Okay, alright, fair enough. That's a Mahjong. Or a fake Mahjong, sorry. And you get extra points because he's dealer. So he slurps that guy up. He's now in first. I'm still in second. This guy has been defeated. Take his pants off. He's defeated. Okay, now we're 1 good tile away from Tenpai here again. Go ahead and toss this. Now both these white dragons have a little shine to them. That means they are Dora. Which means if I pawn this white dragon up, I instantly have a Mahjong, because that's 3 Dora and a white dragon. That's 4 Han. That's a Mahjong. I think 5 Han is a Mahjong. It might be a fake Mahjong. It might be 7,700 points. Either way, it's enough to assure victory for us. Now we need a 7 or a 9 or a 3, a 7 or a 9 of dots here, or a 3 of 7 or 9 of characters, sorry, or a 3 of dots, and we're in Tenpai. Alternatively, I think that's it, yeah. And then we pawn the white dragon as soon as we see it. Now we can pawn this and just wait on the white dragon. And since we're only waiting on 1 3 of dots afterwards, I think that's an okay wait. The odds that somebody plays that 3 of dots or that we draw it ourselves, invalidating our hand, are really low. Even better. We sumoed it ourselves, so we'll go ahead and slurp everybody up around us. It is a Mahjong. Yeah, okay. I think 6 Han is a Hanimon, which is 12,000 points instead of 8,000. Okay, we're in first by like 3,000 points. Crosslord is not having a good day, but there's plenty of time to come back. We're going to go ahead and toss the Southwind. It's not valuable to us. When I say it's not valuable to us as well, when I throw winds, they are still useful. If I were to draw a second Southwind there, we can still use it as our pair, and we can use it in like a half flush hand. But it doesn't give us like another Han for Seat Wind or another Han for Prevalent Wind. So usually we just toss those because they lock us into either like a half outside hand or a half flush hand if we pawn those up. Okay, Crosslord's doing some emotes, so I'll give him an emote just for funs. Usually people only start emoting when something really awesome or really terrible has happened. So you see a Yakuman, 10,000 emotes across the board. If you see some guy at like 400 points, he will just spam emotes because he's sad. Either way, pretty funny. So. Okay, we don't need that white dragon. Go ahead and cancel that one out. Nobody can pawn that up. The red dragon is also dead here. East Wind is dead. That is unfortunate. That does happen. Sometimes you'll throw a dragon, invalidating the pawn, and then immediately grabbing another one and throwing it. And then if the game really wants to rub it in, they'll give you an additional one, like you would have just drawn all three one turn in a row. Woo. Yeah, constantly spamming emotes is also fun. I like it. Like if I haven't seen the character, you get to see all of the emotes. Which rules. I wish they would have let us keep those spring emotes. They released some like limited time emotes for some spring event that they did earlier this year. And they were only available for, like I unlocked mine, it was only available for a couple of weeks after I unlocked it. Now I'm assuming that they don't do that because it would just take more and more and more space every time they do that, instead of just a temporary emote slot that they can switch out every now and then, but it was pretty cool, alright. Okay, we can go ahead and throw this this 9 here. We don't need it. We have a 6, 8, 8 shape. That's good enough. We need a 8 or a 7 to go ahead and complete it. And we can also throw this 1 here whenever our time comes. And we can just go for a Tanyo hand. Yeah, you do get more emotes if you bond with your character. I think you get another like 4 or 6 emotes. And there is a little scroll bar here when you have more emotes. I just didn't know it existed for the first like year I played this. Actually, this emote bottom right here, this gray one, I thought I didn't have. I thought it was grayed out because it's grayscale, so I never clicked it for a long time. Very funny. Turns out that's not how the emotes work. You can just click all of them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of this south wind and invalidate south for everyone else. North is also gone. East is gone. The dragons are all gone. Okay, this is the safe tile, and I think we're either folding or we're definitely folding. There's no way this hand's gonna come together fast enough, so we're just gonna play safe tiles until we end the round here. Okay, even better. Yeah. Hey Parthronax, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day, bud. Okay, we're in second. That's good enough. I think 23 points gets us into expert. As long as we're over 30,000, we should get around 25, so. 23 points away from expert. Real close. As long as things don't go horribly awry in this game, we should be there. Okay, we're gonna count up our shapes here while I'm paying attention. 1, 2, 3. We got this 6, 8, 9 shape, so the 9 is not very useful. We'll go and toss that as soon as we can, probably. 4, 7. Don't like that shape. That's not good. Then this 2, 4, 5, 6 shape. If we were to draw a 7 or a 3, that becomes 2 shapes. That's not bad. And then this 9 is worthless as well. So to sum up, we got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 shapes. That's not enough shapes. Okay, we got a 4. So that's now 4 shapes. We still need one of these 2 tiles to kind of match up. And in a perfect world, we draw a 4, and we can toss this 1 as well. Looks like Crosslord has had enough of this. Decided to rage uninstall. He'll be back. He's experiencing some massive 1d4 psychic damage here. Not much to do about that. We can... Okay, even though that's the Dora, we're probably going to throw it. Waiting on a 2 or a 3 is worse than waiting on the 3, 5, or the 8, 6 from this shape. Okay, we got something to match. Woot woot. Now we got to get rid of this 9 and draw us. Now we'll be in 2 closed weights, which really sucks. But if we're lucky, we'll get another 5 here. Or another 6 here. Or maybe even a 5 of characters here would be good. Just so we can sort of change this weight up from... one of these weights up from a closed weight to a side weight. Make winning a whole lot easier. Okay, that's not a bad tile to have. It might end up making us wait on 2, like a pawn shape, instead of a closed weight. We're still 1 away from Tenpai if we get the right thing. We can't chi that up even though we want it because we have this 1, 2, 3 shape here. Okay, and that was the perfect shape we could have gone for there. Doesn't really matter which one of these we throw. We'll probably throw the 4 because one's already been thrown. And we're waiting on a 7, which another one has already been thrown. The more numbers we start throwing on accident, because we're in Ricci, the more comfortable people will be throwing more numbers. And if we throw a 4, we're in business, because people will be like, he can't be waiting with a 5, 6, and they might throw a 7. Unfortunately, based on everyone's discard piles, this is a terrible weight. Everyone might be using numbers. Alright, yeah, usually I wouldn't have just instantly slammed the worst weight in existence for the Ricci button, but most of the time you want to press the Ricci button. It changes how people like play. That's gonna hurt, Dealer Mongon. Changes how people play. So if they're playing very aggressively, they might switch to playing defensively. it makes them think about what tiles they're throwing, and it puts the pressure on them. Now, the guy to my left here apparently thrives on pressure, but that's okay. We're playing a south round, and so we got all the game in the world. And it's still East 4 because he won as dealer, so we don't have to worry about that, like, progressing the game. Even though we are now not in second, we have the same number of rounds to catch back up. Okay, we'll go ahead and counter shapes after this. We need to toss one of these dragons. I think we tossed green last time, so red it is. That's not a shape, that sucks. And then we got 1, 2. Hang on, save you to cycle. Good luck to you as well. Let's see, we got 1 shape here, and then almost 2 shapes here. We picked correctly on the dragon, that never happens. Kudos us. So 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. If we get this 2 or this 5 to match up with anything, then we can go ahead and toss. Okay, well now that's definitely 2 shapes instead, so we'll go ahead and throw this 2, and then throw the 5. If we can pawn up that green dragon, I knew you'd do that, game. If the game hates me, that's alright, no problem there. I thrive on the hate, so we'll be just fine. If we can pawn up that green dragon, then we can turn our hand state into whatever we want. We do not need that 9 there, and we're going to need to get rid of that 5 as soon as possible, like now. Because it's very useful, and we don't want to throw it too late, or someone might useful it into a Mahjong on our face, and that's not good. Now the guy I'm most scared of is this dude right here, because he's already thrown a Dora, which means his hands is pretty close to done. But we went ahead and threw our Dora because we know it's safe. We can grab that. Worst case scenario, this guy also, or this guy, either one of them, also has the green dragons, and we're just going to be waiting forever, but they also won't win, so we'll just stalemate towards the end. That's not a pawn we want to take, because this is going to be our pair. Still don't want it. Throw that 8 before it becomes too valuable. See, if you hold on to stuff like that 5 or that 8, if you hold on to it until too late, instead of that guy cheating, he would have been ronning us. And that was a straight up nightmare. But at least it was just all simples. Okay, we're dealer again. So now we're the one going for the all simples hand. Actually, we have two south winds right here, so that validates our entire hand, so we can pawn and cheat it up all day. Looks like 3 is Dora, so this 4-5 shape becomes really valuable. We don't need this green dragon, we'll go ahead and throw it. And let's count our shapes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. That's enough shapes. We just upgraded this 3-4 weight into a 3-4-4 weight, so now we can accept a 2, a 5, or a 4. And there's the 3 we were looking for. Pretty sweet. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku is in the mix. I appreciate that. I think we're 2 away from Tenpai if we do that. Which we might as well. Gotta go for something, might as well make it a valuable hand. Okay, we want to throw this 4 because people can use it with the Dora. We don't want to hang on to that very long. Looks like people are starting to throw dots, which could be good for us. Okay. Now we can win off of the 2, but we'd rather win off of a 5. That was very good luck there, drawing the old 5 of bamboo. Gotta click it. Can't just ignore somebody. If I would have just said no, I would have been in Furiton for just not running off of that guy. Okay, eat his points. We stay dealer. That's all you can ask for. Okay, we got 2 west winds, which isn't the best. We got south last round. I'm gonna go ahead and assume we're not getting south this round, and we'll keep the green dragon instead. Furiton would only last for 1 round. Yeah, that's fair. I'm still kind of iffy on like special Furiton rules. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. I think it would have only given us 1 more Han, so we still wouldn't have gotten a Mongon. We would have just gotten a fake Mongon at most. Maybe 3,900 points instead of 2,000. Alright, we're going to toss this, invalidating the green dragon for everyone. We're going to count our shapes as well while we're paying attention. We got 1 shape here, 2, 3, maybe 4 if we get a 2, and then 5 with the west winds. The west winds are probably going to have to be our pair if we keep those. We're going to toss these 2s. They're just not useful for us. Now if we're real lucky, we'll draw a 6. Yeah, at some point I discarded a card. Okay, well that does not have to be our pair now. That is wonderful. Fortunately, this is now a Dora. Okay, we're still good. Yeah, so at some point I discarded a card, or discarded a Ron. Someone I could have Ron'd off of. I said, no thanks. And then, well, we kept going. I ended up in Furiton for the rest of the game. And I'm still not sure why, and ever since then, that is exactly why I don't click that button. Or that's why I always click that button, sorry. Okay, now we're in 2 closed weights here, which is a nightmare. And I guess at the time I should have looked that up to figure out why that had happened, but it was a very long time ago, so I don't know the specifics of that game. When you reach E and don't run, Furiton is permanent. Gotcha. Yeah, that must have been what happened then. Okay, we're in a closed weight for a 7. Not great considering no one else. I'm gonna eat my words immediately and just accept the run. Sounds awesome. We got an Apatsu, which means we now have all of our points back from that guy eating us earlier and a little bit extra. Now in this case, I do not like making this guy to our left lose because the guy across from the table left. So we would like him to be in dead last. Now if the guy to our left decides to leave, we hit him with a little emote. And then we graciously send him to last place where he belongs. I think this is this chick, but with a skin. It might be not the bonded outfit, it might be a different outfit. Either way, I think all the outfits come with additional emotes and stuff, which is really neat. Yeah, if we could make them both tied for last with like negative 10,000 points, that'd be great. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and toss this 3. It's not useful to us. We got a lot of pairs here. We get one more pair. See, right now we have 4 pairs. Okay, we have an additional wrinkle here. We could do... We'll go ahead and get rid of that. The top-down cans of ravioli are worth so much, you might as well just keep them all. We might, depending on what we draw, we're just going to keep drawing dots apparently. That's rough. Well, we want to just go ahead and keep our shape. We would like to upgrade one of these other shapes. That's better. We'll get rid of this 4 here. The 3-3-4 shape is normally better than the 4-6-6 shape, but we have these 1s here and they can play off of each other, so we're not too worried about it. If we draw a 2, then we can just throw this 4 and we're in Tenpai. Looks like all 3 people left. That is hilarious. I've only seen this happen like 1 time. Okay, Right Lord is back. It's all good. Screenshot it. I've played this game for, I'd say a couple 100 hours now, not including, okay, see, that was pretty good. Now we're just waiting on a 1 or a 6, one of which have been played. The 1 is very likely to come out because nobody likes terminal tiles. Then again, could just be sitting in one of the computer's hands, and they'll never throw it. They only throw discard tiles that they draw. Yeah, but I've played this game for hundreds of hours now. I've only ever seen every player leave once. Yeah, the problem with Yakuman hunting in a game where just the NPCs are left is, yeah, they like you don't know what 12 tiles are in their hand. 12 or 13? I think it's 13. Yeah, it's 13. You can both put together financial support reports and watch Mahjong. Tell me no one's ever done that? I guarantee you they've done that, alright? It's gonna be great. Now we don't need this west wind. This shape here, this is 3 different shapes, or 2 shapes if you look at it by just tossing one of these. But the 3 shapes here, the 1, 2, the 4, 5, and the 4, 5, 6, and the 7 are 3 parts that you need to make the pure straight. So if you get a 3, you can chi that up. If you get a 9 or an 8, then you can just go for a straight. Like with no worries, you can open up your hand. But besides that, we have exactly 1 shape, so this hand is kind of not great. Luckily, we have 2 people that cannot win, and 1 guy that is pretty cemented that he's going to be fine. So he's not really going to be taking any risks. He's just trying to get us out of dealer seat, which in all fairness, yeah, I would like to get out of dealer seat as well. I would like to crush one of these guys real fast, just so we don't have to. I could achieve that, but then we'd have to throw that one of circles. And we wouldn't have been able to accept that 1, 2, 3 shape we just got. Okay, that 3 was pretty good, but we went ahead and let it slide. If we get a 2 of bamboo, or a 4 of characters, or even that 2 of characters, this shape is kind of awkward. This closed wait for a 2 of bamboo to complete these 2 shapes here. Kind of not great. Okay, there's that 4 of bamboo. Or the 4 of characters, sorry. So this is either going to be our pair, or we're going to end up tossing it. Now we can get ourselves into Tenpai by doing something here. By Chiing. But we really just don't want to be dealer seat anymore. We want this game to finish itself out as fast as we can. Go ahead and throw that one, so we're waiting on a 4. Just so we can accept this red tile here. Since we're not in last, the faster this game ends, the better for us. No, no, no. Okay, we don't need that. Now hopefully our guy over here, yeah, nice, either runs or is in Tenpai, so we would lose points and get out of the dealer seat. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terminals, which makes this hand awful. I am going to be backing all these Mahjong videos up to YouTube, and depending on how I feel, I might eventually make a introduction to Mahjong video. There are some tutorials in this game if you are having some trouble, but I'd say the best way to learn is to lose. To play and lose repeatedly. I lost 100 games in a row before I realized why I was losing, and then I played another 100 games in a row before I figured out how to win. That doesn't mean I started winning, it just means I like stopped dealing in as much. We'll go ahead and count our shapes here. We got 1, which is not a great shape. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. That's as many as we need to win. We got a lot of 2 pairs, which is not great. That's not what you want. You really normally only want 2 copies of 2 pairs. This third pair here is not helpful to us unless we're doing all pawn, which is toy. Then the third pair is fine because we'll be pawning all of the pairs. Now we have 4 pairs, which is rough. A 5th pair, and we'll be going for 7 pairs. Okay, now we can, as long as... Okay, we still can't do it. We can't toy. Because the 3s here are gone. But if we get any of these other ones to match up... I guess we should start tossing the ones that don't have... buddies there. If we get a 3, which we can't get, or a 1, or a 1... Man. Okay, this is terrible, but I'm probably going to do it. We're just going for the meme. We're we're going to start picking tiles that have copies and hoping that we draw one. And we're going to go for Toy Toy, which is all pawn. Okay, so it's any tile besides this this 5 we can go ahead and toss. Yeah, the guidance I got was getting stomped to death by old Japanese women in Final Fantasy XIV. That's how I learned how to play Mahjong. It was rough. But yeah, and then also just like just like watching me or anybody play Mahjong, and having them explain why they're doing things, and just getting familiar with the terminology is quite helpful. It'll save you like hours and hours and hours of Googling. Because for one, I don't speak Japanese. What does Toy Toy mean? It means all pawn. That's good to know. But I also wouldn't want them to take, like, to change the terms. That way everyone you play with is pretty familiar with how to, like how to play together. It's rough getting started. Yeah, for Final Fantasy XIV, I would wait a couple of hours to get into a Mahjong game. We ended up making a bunch of cross-world link shells to make them easier to find. We probably had 8 or 10 cross-world link shells with like 50 people each, all different people. And anytime someone was in queue, you would just see like 2 out of 4 South round ranked, just like echo across all of the cross-world link shells with like somebody looking for someone else to play with. Yeah, I haven't played Yakuza either. Me and Unsafe Unicycle both got it, I think at the same time. I need to finish it. I think I did the first little karaoke part and the first like fight, the little tutorial, and then I put it down and got distracted. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and toss these 9s and keep that 4, just so we can, by chance, we can get into a Tanyo situation. We will. Okay, just like that. We'll definitely accept the red 5. Heard Mahjong and Yakuza is rigged though. In all fairness, it all seems rigged if you're losing. You know what I'm saying? Just a Ricci, that's pretty good. That's like no points. That's the best thing that could have happened there. We're in South 4 now. We just want this game to be over. And then get our rank, hopefully. As long as we stay above 30,000, we should get enough rank points. I think the higher difficulties of Yakuza do rig it, but they're definitely beatable. Like they rig it and like there's like a hidden luck stat that weighs what tiles other people can get, and you'll just have to bash yourself against that repeatedly until the computer like doesn't get the correct tiles. Luckily, it is possible to win those, because a buddy of mine did it in Yakuza 0 or Kawaii. I don't remember the name of the Kawaii series, but like the rest of that subtitle. But he got to Mahjong Master in that game. It's better to play with actual people. That way you know the computers aren't cheating whores. You know, and they can be. Just need a green dragon. We can close this one out. Green dragon, red 5. Now normally that would be a pure double sequence if we kept our hand. Okay, don't tempt me with the other red 5 game. If we kept our hand closed, the copies of 3, 4, 5s there would end up pure double sequence. But since we opened it, it just doesn't count that. Okay, that's a nightmare. That's not what we want, and it invalidates our hand. Luckily, we throw this, and we're not in Puritan anymore. Yeah, Parther, I don't know why I thought I couldn't just not accept that Ron earlier. And then we sumo it. Thank God. It's over. It's over, boys and gals. 2,000 points. Let's slurp that up. I'm pretty sure that gives us the 25 we need. 36. I will take my certificate. We are now a Mahjong expert. Woo! Thanks. The long road to get here. It looks like it starts us out with 600 out of 1,200 points for the next rank. And we got some items here. We got a Game Boy. And I think a spear. But we also finished our event for the day. Go ahead and claim all of these. Got a fortune bag and some coins. Got another wall painting, which, you know what we do with blue gifts. We just donate them. And we'll give Ren a Game Boy, which he better appreciate. We're getting pretty close to his bonded level there. 36,000 out of 50,000. But yeah, we've been doing alright. Looks like we're trending up. Just can't get the purple ones. Yeah, I don't know if you were here when I explained it last time, but like worst case scenario, if you can't get the purple gifts that you need to bond your guy, you can go over to this summon scroll thing, use your faith to buy these wishing stones, and then head over to the shop, and you can go down to wishing, and you can buy the purple gifts that you need to bond the people. That's how I got one of these paintings that I got out of the 4 that I have. It's super helpful. I think next time we play, we're going to go ahead and move on to the gold room and just get smashed back a couple of ranks here by the masters that'll probably be hanging around in gold room. It probably is a waste, but as long as you're not saving up for like a cat paw or something, then and you like are kind of impatient, you really want that bonded outfit, I'd say that's the only reason to get those paintings or whatever, you know, item you need. I got these 2 out of like some locked gift bags they gave you through some events, and then I got one of these through just an additional sage bag. But I'm getting pretty close to just want the voice line. I think the only thing my friends said I needed when I started this game was I need the I need one of these cat paws, which, you know, that's fair. I do need a sweet cat paw at some point, but until we get that bonded, oh, you got the animated skin for Ren? That's neat. I don't think those are available anymore unless you just use the Let me see what we got. Hang on, I gotta remember how to view the characters here. There it is. What's animated about it? We'll never know. I hope it's the little guy behind there who's all sad in the snow. That's neat though. Brilliant New Year exclusive. When was that? 2021? This one's good enough for me. Give him a little ponytail. He'll be alright. His vice vice president classroom powers will only increase with the ponytail. But alright, I appreciate you guys stopping by. No, it's not that old. Yeah, okay. I started playing last year, I'd say. I played Mahjong before that, but you know, not on Soul. I can find out, I guess, how many days I've played. 219 days, however long ago I started. I've tried to get this login for 100 consecutive days twice now and ended up at 80 something and then forgot, or like I think one of the days there was a maintenance. Big oof. But I'll get there eventually. I got 800 more days to do it 100 days in a row. Right, I'll probably do some more Mahjong tomorrow. I think later today I might do a little bit more State of Decay or something. But alright, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Parthor, Blacklist, thanks for coming in. You guys really like Mahjong, and that's great for me, because so do I. Then I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Peace.